Alrighty, we're in the kitchen with Kisha Frazier. She's here with a sneak peek of her brand new Hummingbird Macarons. She's making her all-time favorite Salted Caramel Macaron. And if you're interested in how to make these, she's going to give you a little tutorial. She's going to show you everything you need to know about making the wonderful macaron, which a little bit of history on it. What is the macaron anyways? So
the macaron is basically an almond flour egg white cookie that was introduced to France by Catherine de Medici. It has simple ingredients, but it comes out like magic. So that's why it's one of the most sought-after cookies in the world. And somebody told me, they were like, "You make the most difficult cookies to make in the world," but they, there's a finesse about it. So a lot of people have asked about how you do it and what goes into it. So we're going to go over the first stage of it. What we do at Hummingbird is we use the Italian method.
Right.
Because for here, there's a lot of humidity. And so if you're using the French method, it won't work every season. But the Italian does because it incorporates cooked sugar. Is there a big difference between the taste of an Italian or a French macaron? There's not a big difference.
It's just the way it's made.
It's just the way it's made, but the feet, which I'll show you later, are slightly different, but it's negligible.
All right, so get out your pen and paper, take some notes. All right, get to it, Kisha.
So what we have here is we're going to put in our almond flour powdered sugar mixture, and this is creating our paste. So this is the first step for the Italian. This is egg whites, and we have our color in there already with some vanilla. I'm going to get that in there really good. All right, so we're going to turn it on, and here is where you want to mix it up really good to get the color going. I find that this method is easiest when it comes to adding the color because you can add it all in. And for people who are watching who've tried this a million times and wondered, oh my gosh, it just never comes out. This really is the best way to do it. You can hit us up on Facebook at Hummingbird Macarons and just message us any questions you may have if you're in the process of doing this.
Now, people have come to you and said that they struggle and they make mistakes. It doesn't turn out quite the same way. What is the biggest problem or mistake that people make when they're making their own?
It's in the mixing.
Okay.
I mean, in the mixing is where the problem is because it takes a lot. So basically, whether you're using the French or, say, for example, the Italian method, you want this. Can you see that? You want the mixture to be like this. It's kind of stiff and pasty, and there are recipes on there, but this is important. Some people let it go too long or not long enough. Okay. Okay?
As you can tell, she only mixed it for maybe a minute.
Right.
It wasn't very long.
It wasn't very long at all, and you don't want to go any longer than that. So what you're going to do next is we're going to put it inside the bowl because this is going to be our mixing bowl. This is a two-step process with the Italian method. A lot of people, which is why a lot of people don't want to choose it, but it is the most reliable. And again, especially for our area, it's the most reliable. So we're going to put it in our bowl, and we're going to set that aside.
All right.
Yep, we're going to set that aside for later.
Gotcha.
Because the next process, we're going to cook our sugar. We're going to add it to the next stage of egg whites, and then that's going to produce the meringue that's needed to incorporate into that.
Are you going to be able to do that now, or are we going to start doing this in a bit?
Yeah, we're going to come back and do that in a bit, so we can add that and heat the sugar up.
Okay, real quickly, this is your baby. Macarons that's it. I mean, you took a lot of great, amazing things, but this is it for you. This
is it. I enjoy the macarons and the pastries a lot more, but having mastered this part of it was like a life achievement,
there you go.
For me. And to be able to do that and to see how many people just seek it out. Like, we have people following us, all over the place because they're like, oh my gosh, I heard that you had, these great macarons. So. And
once you've tasted Kisha's macarons, you're going to know why they are seeked out and sought after. And you're going to be opening at MacArthur Center tomorrow. Go find the Hummingbird Macaron. Listen, we'll get back with you in just a few minutes. All righty, we are back now with Kisha Frazier from Hummingbird Macarons. We're getting a special sneak peek at this amazing new food trend. And you're really going at it over here.
Yeah.
You're whipping it up.
So now we're whipping it up.
You're whipping up. This is the cream?
So this is the egg whites with the sugar. So like I told you before, there's two different techniques. The French method, you don't have to cook the sugar. The sugar is incorporated into the whites without it being cooked. This way, you have to cook it, and then it helps pasteurize the egg whites.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's cooked to about 240 degrees. And so we're going to heat that up, and we're going to actually add it to macaronage or our paste. And then we're going to fill it. Now, one of the tools that is really good to have that would probably help people when they're incorporating is to have one of these, which is a bowl scraper. A lot of people show this as a demonstration, but this gets it a lot better.
Right.
So we'll demonstrate that so that people can see, okay, if I do that, see how it can really get into the work, how it actually spreads it out versus this. So that's just a little trick to help people make their macaron better.
Right.
For those who are willing to take on the adventure of making them.
Now, you say it's an adventure. To me, it seems like this is not an easy cookie to pull off.
It's not an easy cookie to pull off, but it's an adventure because you have, it's like the element of, is it going to rise right? Is it going to, you know, is it going to come out the way it's supposed to? Oh my gosh, did I do this right? And all of these things, you know, that's what makes life in sugar so exciting. It's the precision of it.
So your first time trying it?
My first time trying it, I did good.
I'm just saying, if somebody out there tries it for the first time, gotta have a good teacher, gotta follow the instructions.
Follow the instructions, have a good recipe, because every recipe out there isn't what it's supposed to be. So what we're gonna do is now, this is the fun part. This is the part that gets people.
Well, I thought mixing that up was the fun part.
Okay, this
sounded like fun. Making all that noise.
This is the part that gets people, and this is where they get tripped up. So what I'm gonna show is how it should look after you've incorporated it.
Okay.
Leave that there. So what you're going to do is that when you're folding macaron, whether it's the French method, like I said, which does not use a cooked sugar, or this one, you don't play like that. I mean, get into it. Right. You know, these things like to be. I was going to say something. They like to be worked.
Worked. You were going to say something. Lots of things went through my head too. But I didn't say it either.
Good.
But you know what? Here's the thing. You know, I hear this fold and all this, but you're really getting in there. You're letting it have it.
You have to get in there with this. This isn't the kind where, oh my gosh, my egg whites might fall. You want to get this thing really blended and looking good. Okay,
we have about a minute left. So is it time to cook these guys?
So now it's time to, so we're going to show them.
Should I bring them out?
Yeah.
Okay. Hot, hot, hot. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hot, hot, hot,
hot, hot. Okay. So this is the finished product.
Not really, it wasn't hot. Just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry.
Before you pipe it, you want it to flow like this.
Okay.
Can you see that, Craig?
I'm seeing you flowing.
Okay. Now, here comes the fun part.
Here comes the fun part.
We'll just touch these. You're going to fill one of those.
All right. Fill it up. Just, you got to be careful with this, or just... Do
your magic. That's good.
There you go.
Okay. We're going to put some of that on there.
A little caramel.
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 Mash it down.
Caramel, caramel.
Caramel, caramel.
Is that it?
That's it.
That was it, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you just made it seem very simple, however. All right.
Yep, and then you just keep adding you just keep adding. Sometimes you can do it just straight caramel, but I like the creaminess of the European buttercream with the caramel, not caramel. See, I'm starting to sound like you.
I know.
So take a bite.
Okay, so look at all these right here. We also have not just that, but we have these wonderful confectionaries. These macarons are all you're going to offer so many different ones at MacArthur Center, opening tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell me more about Hummingbird Macarons.
So tomorrow we're going to open. We'll be there mall hours, 10 to 9, and we're going to have an assortment of lavender, pistachio, coconut cream, red velvet. Just in time for Valentine's Day, you'll be able to get that sweet for your sweet.
All right, so there it is right there. Hummingbird Macarons. Give them a call at 410-0900 or stay in touch on Facebook. Just search for Hummingbird Macarons. Kisha Frazier, thank you so much for teaching us how to make these wonderful treats.
You're welcome.
Can't wait to try them.
All right.